Ever wondered who could be the baddest man in the world? This title has been given to Mike Tyson by many. You could be into any fighting sports, whether it's MMA, WWE, or Dana White's UFC. There is little to no chance that you wouldn't have heard the name Mike Tyson. Iron Mike was surely a name that gave nightmares to many of his opponents. He was nicknamed Iron Mike when he was in his prime and was considered undefeatable at that time. Hey everybody, welcome to the Top 11. Today we're going to go over the Top 11 Mike Tyson knockouts. Make sure to watch until number 1 because it's one of the most amazing knockouts in boxing history I've ever seen. Mike Tyson was a former undisputed heavyweight world champion. He became a legend because of his incredible punching power. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2011. At the time of retirement, Tyson had fought 58 fights, out of which he won 50. And 44 of those wins were by knockout. He had lost only 6 matches and 2 fights were declared no contests. Tyson retired in 2005 after losing to Irishman Kevin McBride. However, he returned from retirement to fight former 4-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition boxing match. The fight was on November the 28th at the Staples Center, Los Angeles. This was one of the most anticipated matches in history. It ended in an unofficial draw after the legendary boxers went the full 8 rounds at Staples Center. Now, let's look at his top 11 knockouts. At number 11, we have Mike Tyson vs. Jose Ribalta, August 17, 1986. Mike Tyson was an undefeated heavyweight at that time. He defeated Jose Ribalta in the final round of a 10-round bout. For Tyson, it was his 26th straight victory without a loss and his 24th knockout. Tyson, at 213.5 pounds, was a devastating puncher against the 211.5-pound Ribalta. Mike Tyson knocked Joe Ribalta down 3 times before stopping him in the 10th and final round. Tyson floored Ribalta with a right hook to the body. A massive right uppercut combination in the second and a left hook drove Ribalta halfway through the ropes and down in the 8th. Early in the 10th, Tyson dropped Ribalta with a left hook. After Ribalta rose at the count of 4, Tyson unleashed a flurry of clean hooks to the head that prompted referee Rudy Battle to stop the fight. While Tyson scored all 3 knockdowns with shots to Ribalta's head, it was his body punching that was impressive. He hit the 23-year-old Ribalta repeatedly with thudding shots that drew gasps from the crowd. Number 10 is Mike Tyson vs. Alex Stewart, December the 8th, 1990. As soon as the match started, Tyson went on the attack and hit Stewart with 2 right hands, the second of which knocked Stewart to the canvas in less than 10 seconds into the fight. Stewart was able to get up at the count of 5 and continue the fight, but he was met with a bevy of Tyson's power punches. At 1:05 in the round, Stewart was again knocked down by a right hand from Tyson. This time he got up at the count of 8, and referee Frank Cappuccino allowed Stewart to continue. With the 3 knockdown rule in effect, Tyson would continue his furious assault on Stewart to get the 3rd knockdown, which would give him the automatic victory. At 2 minutes 27 in the round, Tyson hit Stewart with a short left hand that knocked Stewart down for the 3rd time, ending the fight and giving Tyson the victory by technical knockout. Number 9 is Mike Tyson vs. Reggie Gross, June 13th, 1986. This fight happened at Madison Square Garden. Unbeaten 21-0 heavyweight prospect Mike Tyson knocked down Reggie Gross twice and stopped him the first round of a scheduled 10-round fight. Tyson and Gross were in the center of the ring, and Gross threw a barrage of power shots, a couple of which landed on Tyson's head. Then, as Gross paused, Tyson connected with a single left hook that put Gross down. Gross struggled up at 7 and was quickly put down again by 2 left hooks. Gross made it to his feet at the count of 8, but referee Johnny Lobianco stopped the fight at 2 minutes 36. At number 8, we have Mike Tyson vs. Frank Bruno, February 25th, 1989. This fight had to be one of the most frenzied build-ups in boxing history. Bruno and Tyson kept getting pushed back and postponed. Bruno shocked Tyson out of the gate, almost knocking down Mike in the first round. It didn't take much time for Tyson to turn it around, putting Bruno against the ropes and unleashing a right uppercut series. The referee ended the fight instantly. Number 7 is Mike Tyson vs. Donovan Ruddock, March 18, 1991. Tyson and Ruddock were boxing's number 1 and 2 ranked heavyweights, respectively. They had fought each other to determine who would next face the undisputed heavyweight champion, Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson was awarded the victory via a controversial 7th round technical knockout. After Tyson hit Ruddock with a 6-punch combination, referee Richard Steele stepped in. He stopped the fight even though Ruddock could not be knocked down and appeared healthy enough to continue. Number 6 is Mike Tyson vs. Marvin Frazier, July 26, 1986. This was Tyson's fastest knockout of his career. He turned in an electrifying and wickedly violent dish. He only needed 30 seconds to destroy Marvin Frazier, the son of former heavyweight world champion Joe Frazier. Before the fans even got time to settle down, Tyson hurt Frazier with a right uppercut, left to the head, and another right uppercut, and a right-left-right combination that dropped Frazier to his knees. Frazier could not beat the count. Number 5 is Mike Tyson vs. Larry Holmes, January the 22nd, 1988. Tyson was 32-0 at the time of the fight. Larry Holmes was a former WBC and IBF heavyweight champion. This was a historic meeting of great heavyweights from different generations. Muhammad Ali was also at the ringside. The fight itself lasted 4 rounds, Tyson connecting with a right hook to the head side, which sent Holmes crashing to the canvas. Holmes initially got up quickly, before Iron Mike immediately returned to the offensive and sent his opponent to the floor for the final time in the fight with a fierce right hand. This was considered as revenge for Muhammad Ali. Number 4 is Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon, September the 7th, 1996. Tyson was facing off against the defending WBA title holder Bruce Seldon for the WBA heavyweight title. Tyson would easily defeat Seldon by first-round knockout in one of the shortest heavyweight championship fights in boxing history, lasting just 1 minute 49. From the opening bell, Tyson would be the aggressor. Seldon would attempt to weather Tyson's storm by attempting to connect his powerful left jab. Still, Tyson was able to dodge Seldon's attempts. At around 1 minute 12 of the fight, Seldon was knocked down by a Tyson punch that seemingly only grazed Seldon. Seldon would answer the referee's count at 8 and continue the fight, only to almost immediately get knocked down again by a punch that didn't seem to land at full force. Seldon slowly got back on his feet but could not maintain his balance, causing referee Richard Steele to stop the fight and award Tyson the victory by knockout. At number 3 we have Mike Tyson vs. Peter McNeely, August 19th, 1995. The fight lasted only 89 seconds, with Tyson earning an easy victory via disqualification. McNeely started the fight by aggressively attacking Tyson as soon as the opening bell rang. Tyson avoided McNeely's wild punches and landed a right hook that dropped McNeely to the canvas less than 10 seconds into the fight. After taking referee Mill Lane's standing 8 counts, McNeely was allowed to continue and again would continue his aggressive assault on Tyson. The two men would exchange punches in the corner as the first minute of the round passed. Less than 20 seconds later, Tyson would land a right uppercut that again sent McNeely down. With McNeely clearly hurt from the exchange, his manager, Vinny Vecchione, entered the ring to prevent McNeely from taking any more damage, causing Lane to end the fight and award Tyson the victory by disqualification. Number 2 is Mike Tyson vs. Andrew Golota, October 20th, 2000. Both men entered the fight with reputations for being rough fighters. Golota had been disqualified twice against Riddick Bowe in 1996 for hitting below the belt. Tyson had served a suspension and had been disqualified for biting both of Holyfield's ears in 1997. Tyson tore into Golota from the first bell, decking the big pole at the end of the round. Round 2 was the same, and at the start of the third, Golota would not leave his stool, and no wonder. Golota's decision to give up angered Tyson, who felt that he lost the chance to gain a traditional knockout victory. The day after the fight, Golota was taken to the hospital. Doctors discovered that Golota had suffered a concussion, a fractured left cheekbone, and a herniated disc between the 4th and 5th cervical vertebrae. Number 1 brings us to Mike Tyson vs. Michael Spinks, June 27th, 1988. The World Series Heavyweight Championship tournament concluded with a fight between WBA/WBC/IBF heavyweight Mike Tyson and the ring champion Michael Spinks. This was probably the most important knockout of Mike's career. Tyson would claim the title in just 91 seconds, with Spinks' first knockdown caused by a series of body shots. Spinks would narrowly beat the count but was almost immediately floored by a Tyson right hook, which ended the fight and saw Iron Mike become the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's it folks, you have reached the end of the video. Please subscribe to the Top 11 YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our amazing videos. Check out this playlist of my personal favorite videos on this channel about some really crazy and interesting clips of the best Top 11 videos on YouTube. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.